The best way to prevent coronavirus infection is to wash your hands thoroughly and often. When you wash your hands, scrub your hands, fingers, and under your fingernails with soap and warm running water for at least 20 seconds. Make sure to wash your hands before eating or drinking or whenever you've been out in public. Remember to wash your hands before touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, so you don't infect yourself if you've come into contact with the virus. You should also avoid any contact with other people who are sick, particularly if they're coughing, have a fever, or are short of breath. According to the World Health Organization, coronavirus spreads from person to person through small droplets from the nose or mouth that are expelled when an infected person coughs or exhales. These droplets land on objects and surfaces around the person. Other people catch the virus by touching these objects or surfaces, or by breathing in droplets when near an infected individual. Always stay at least 2 meters, 6 feet, away from a person who is sick to avoid contact with coronavirus droplets. Though coronavirus is thought to mainly spread via people with symptoms, there have been reports of cases where people tested positive for coronavirus but showed no active symptoms. To best ensure safety from coronavirus, avoid large group settings and do your best to stay away from anyone who may have had contact with the virus, even if they don't appear to be sick. To protect your home from coronavirus, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggest cleaning high-touch surfaces with a disinfectant daily. Clean your doorknobs, kitchen counters, tables, toilets, phones, keyboards, and bathroom fixtures every day. According to Johns Hopkins University, disinfectant products are thought to be effective against coronavirus because of the weak outer envelope of the virus.
Jai Hind all of you. We are doing the lesson squares and square roots. In the previous video, we learned what do you mean by prime factorization to find the square root of different numbers. And this video we are going to study a new method, long division method.
There are 2 ways to solve for the square root of a number. We can either use a calculator, of course everybody would love to use this option, and the other way is to solve it manually. Manually too, we can solve it in 2 different ways. One, by using the prime factorization method, which we have already seen. We split the number to its prime factors and then choose one number from each pair. The other method, which we will look at in this video, is called the long division method. The name sounds fancy, but don't worry, if you follow the steps given in this video, you will never go wrong. But why can't we just use prime factorization every time? Well, if the number is large, it will take us a lot of time to reduce it to its prime factors, and the chances of going wrong are very high. Hence, prime factorization is useful only for small numbers. And for large numbers, we can use the long division method. Let's solve a couple of examples to understand how the long division method works. Look at the number 8281. If we have to reduce this number to its prime factors, we would first have to think of all the divisibility rules and so on, and that would take us a lot of time. So for such large numbers, we use the long division method. The first thing we need to do in the long division method is to draw lines like this. A line on top and a line to the left of the number. When you draw a line on top of the number, remember to leave some space above the number. Once you're done drawing these lines, you're ready for the first step. The first step is to mark pairs of digits from the unit's end. The unit's end is the number 1. So we mark pairs of digits from right hand side. This becomes our first pair from the right, the number 81. We continue to mark pairs till we cover all digits of the number. The next pair will be 82. So the first step was simple. We just mark pairs from the right, which gives us 2 pairs, 82 and 81. Now we look at the first pair from the left, which is 82. In the second step, we have to find the perfect square which is equal to or lower than 82. Since 82 is not a perfect square, we choose the perfect square lower than 82. The perfect square just lower than 82 is 81. Even 64 is a perfect square lower than 82, but remember, we always choose the one which is closest. We know that 9 squared equals 81. We just found out the most crucial number. It's the number 9. 9 is basically the square root of the closest perfect square. We write the number 9 here to the left of the number. This was actually the most important step of the long division process, to find the first number. The next step is one of the easiest steps, but it's a step where most of the students get confused. The step says multiply above and add below. But what do we multiply and what do we add? It is the same number, 9. Let's focus on multiplying above first. We multiply 9 with 9 and write the product here. So the 9 you are multiplying is written on top. Now let's come to add below. We add 9 with 9 and write the sum underneath. 9 plus 9 gives us 18. We multiply the same number with itself above and wrote the product here. And we added the same number with itself and wrote the sum here. Remember, when we multiply or add, we're doing the operation with the same digit. In this case, it's 9. So we have completed 3 steps. First, we found the pairs from the right. Second, we found the perfect square and wrote its square root here. Third, we multiplied above and added below. If you observed it well, you could see that I have left some space next to the sum of 9s. That space is kept for the box. So we draw an empty box here, and inside this box we will be writing some digit. Our next aim is to find this digit. The next 3 steps are super simple. We just subtract the product from the number above it. The product we got was 81. The number above it is 82. We subtract 81 from 82 and get 1. And then we get the next pair down. The next pair is 81. So we write it next to 1. Then we draw the same box above and below. Above, we draw it next to 9, and below, we draw it under the original box. The digits contained in each of these boxes are the same. The next step, according to me, is the most interesting step of the long division method. We use trial and error to find the digit in the boxes. We look for the product of 2 numbers, which gives us 181. This is how the product should look. What number do you think we can write in the boxes to get 181 as our product? Remember, the digits in both the boxes have to be the same. Yes, 181 multiplied by 1 gives us 181. So we have found the digit in the boxes. It's 1. After we find this digit, we go back to the third step and follow the same procedure. Multiply above. So we write a 1 and a 1 in these 2 boxes and get the product of 181 and 1 as 181. Then we add below. We add 1 to 181 and get 182. Then we subtract the product from the number above it. So we subtract 181 from 181 and get a 0. The moment we get a 0 here and there are no more pairs left, we are done. But wait, where's the square root of 8281? Well, it's the number you got on top. It's 91. The square root of 8281 is 91. Trust me, it's not difficult. It's just a little lengthy. Let's review what we just did. We marked pairs from the unit's end, which gave us 2 pairs, 82 and 81. Then we choose a perfect square which is equal to or lower than the leftmost pair, 82. We found out that 81 is the closest square. We write its square root to the left. Then we multiply it above. 9 multiplied by 9 equals 81, and added below, 9 plus 9 equals 18. And with 18, we leave space for one more digit. Then we reach the three simple steps. First, we subtract the product. 82 minus 81 gives us 1. Second, we get the next pair down. And then we draw the same box above and below, which will contain the same digit as the original box. And to find the digit in the boxes, we use trial and error and get 181 multiplied by 1 as 181. So the number in the box will be 1. After we find the number in the box, we go back to the third step. We multiply above. 181 multiplied by 1 gives us 181. Then we add the same digit below. 181 plus 1 equals 182. Then we subtract the product. 181 minus 181 gives us 0. And since there's no pair left, we stop and get the square root as 91. Remember, inside the two lines, we always subtract, and outside, we always add. To get a better idea, see the second part of this video in which we have solved for the square root of another number using the same procedure.
Dear students, hope all of you understood the process of long division method from the video, and now we are going to study in detail more examples on finding square root by division method. Okay, so I hope all of you understood the method of finding square root using factorization, prime factorization method. That was very clear from the first video, and this video we are going to study more examples from division method. Okay, yes. So before going to the problems, let us tell once more why we are using this division method. So finding square root by division method, when the numbers are large, even the method of finding square root by prime factorization becomes lengthy and difficult. To overcome this problem, we use long division method. So long division method is one of the methods to find the square root of mostly larger numbers. Okay, if the number is very small, it is very easy to find the square root by prime factorization, as you know. But when the number becomes very large, the more easy method is to apply long division method. So that is only we are going to do now, long division method. And you see, long division method is not only meant for larger numbers. By using long division method, we can find the square root of 3-digit, 4-digit numbers also. Okay, so don't think that it is applicable only for bigger numbers. It can be used for finding square root of 3-digit numbers likewise. Okay, yes. So we are going to start from 3-digit numbers, and more examples we will discuss. So our first example is find the square root of 529. Okay, 529, 3-digit number we are having. So let us start the problem. So what is the first step to find out square root by long division method? You want to draw a line like this and here. Okay, so this is the first step. We are putting a shape like this. Now the dividend, the square root, what you want to find out is to be written inside this. Okay, as if you watched the video carefully, you could understand how to do this. Now what you want to do, children? From the units place, you want to divide the numbers in pairs and put a bar on the top. Okay, so here units place is 9. So 9 and 2 you want to make a pair and put a bar here. Okay, I am putting a bar like this. So 2, 9 is taken together, and the next digit 5 is taken separately. Now children, what you want to do? After putting the bars, you want to take the first pair, that is only 5 is here. Now you want to take the square numbers that is near to 5. Okay, so we want to recall all the square numbers. You know, 1 into 1 is 1, 2 into 2 is 4, 3 into 3 is 9. So all the square numbers you want to take one by one and you want to find out which is closer to this 5. And you can see from here the closer digit to 5 is closer square to 5 is 2 2s are 4. Okay, so that you want to select here, and this 2 2s are that you want to put 1 2 in this divisor place and 1 2 in the quotient. So 2 2s are 4, you want to write below 5 and put a line. Now you do the subtraction. What is 5 minus 4? 1. So after subtracting, you want to bring the next pair of numbers below, that is 2 9 you want to bring down. Okay, now your dividend is 129. So what is your new divisor? New divisor is either you can write this divisor, previous divisor, double of that is 2 plus 2 4, or you can write the double of the quotient. Both are same. Okay, so either you can write 2 plus 2 4 here, or you can write the double of 2, that is 2 2s are 4. Anyways, both are same. Now what you want to do, here you got 4 here. Now near to this 4 you want to find out different numbers. Okay, like if you are putting 4 near, if you are putting 2, then you want to multiply by 2. Okay, so when you multiply, 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. We got 84, right? And if you are putting 4 near 3, 3 is a number, multiply by 3. Then 3 3s are 9, 4 3s are 12. Yes, we got 129. That is our dividend. Okay, so the second step of the division is near to the double of this number, you want to try for different digits and multiply by the same number, so that we are getting the number closer to the dividend, or sometimes we will get exactly the dividend. Okay, so here when we tried for 3 and multiplied by 3, we got exactly the number 129, so that this 3 can be written near to 4 and in the quotient. So you got 129. Now you do the subtraction. You know 129 minus 129, the remainder is 0. So when you got 0, you should stop the process, and this quotient is the required square root of our number. Okay, understand? So therefore, how to write the final answer? Therefore, you can use the square root symbol. Square root of 529 is equal to 23. So that is our answer. Come to the second example. Find the square root of 4096. 4096. It is a 4-digit number. Okay, start the solution. First you want to put the division symbol like this and write the number inside, 4096. After that, what you want to do? Make the number in pairs from the units digit. Units digit from 6 and 9 is one pair, put a bar, and 0 4 is the next pair. Okay, so these two numbers you want to take together. So first you go to the square table, so that 40 is nearer to which number can you say? 2 2s are 4, 3 3s are 9, 4 4s are 16, 5 5s are 25, 6 6 are 36, 7 7s are 49. So 6 6 are 36, 7 7s are 49 is greater than 40, first pair. So that you want to select the previous one, 6 6 are 36. So that 6 you can write in the divisor side and quotient side, and 36. Now you do the subtraction. 40 minus 36 is 4. Now bring the next pair 96 to below. Now what is the next step, children? After subtraction, you want to double the quotient. What is the double of 6? Yes, very good, 12. So that 12 you want to write on this side. Okay, now what you want to do? Near to this 12, you want to try for different digits. That is, if you are putting 1, you multiply by 1. If you are putting 2, multiply by 2. Okay, yes. So we can try. If I am putting 3 near to this 12, if I am putting 3, then I am getting 3 3s are 9, 2 3s are 6, 1 3 is 3. Okay, 369. Yes, try for the next number. 12 near I am putting 4. So if I am putting 4, 4 4s are 16, 4 2s are 8 plus 1 9, 1 4 is 4. Yes, I got 496. So which digit I put? 4. So that 4 you can put on this side and in the quotient. So we got 496. Do the subtraction, balance is 0. When you are getting the remainder is equal to 0, that means your given number is a perfect square. Okay, so only we are getting the balance 0 when you do the long division method. Yes, now what is the final answer, children? Therefore, the square root of the given number 4096 is equal to 64 by long division method. Now see this third question. Find the square root of 14,400. So here there are 5 digits. So we can start the division. Put a line like this and write 14,400. So that is your first step. After that, make pairs from the right end of units place. So this 0 and 0 is one pair, and 4 and 4 is next pair, and this 1 is left alone. So there also you need to put a bar. Okay, so there are totally 3 pairs we made. Now since 1 is left alone, you want to start from 1. So tell all the square numbers, so that 1 will be going only for 1 is 1. Okay, because 2 2s are next square number is 4. It will not go by 1. So select the first one. 1 is 1. So that 1 you can write here and here. Quotient. So 1 is 1. Now put a line, subtract. It is obviously 0. Okay. Now take the next pair, that is 44. So this is our new dividend. Now after bringing the pair, you want to double the quotient. What is the double of 1? Double of 1 is 1 plus 1, 2, or 1 into 2, 2. So that double you want to write on this side. Okay, yes. Now what you want to do? Try for different numbers near 2 and multiply by that number itself. So how many will reach this 44? So if you are doing 2 into 3, okay, yes, and 3, 9, 69, it is greater. So try for 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4, yes, it is 44. So that you want to select 2 here and in the quotient also, so that your answer is 44. Okay, now 44 minus 44 is again 0. Now you see we have 2 more numbers to bring down, so that also you are writing below 2 numbers. Now what is the meaning? When you bring this number below, even though it is 0, it is a next dividend. But 0, when you bring it down, it is actually the pair we bring down, we need to do the division. But since it is 0, it will not go for any number. Okay, as we are doing in ordinary division also, 0 will not go for any number. It is always less than any numbers. If you write the double of the quotient here one more time, 12, here now the new quotient is 12, correct? So 12 double you want to take in the next step. So what is the double of 12? 24. But if you, after writing the double of the number, if you try for any numbers 1 or 2 or anything and multiply, it will not go for 0, because 0 is always less than any other numbers in the divisor. So that you can stop here, and because it is less than any number, put a 0 in the quotient. That is, we cannot divide. Okay, so now the square root is 120. So therefore square root of the number 14400 is equal to 120. That is the answer. Now see one more question. Find the square root of 36,864. Here also 5 digits are there. So start your problem. Put the line and write 36,864. Okay. Yes, now you want to make the pairs from the right side from units place. So 6, 4 is one pair, then 6, 8 is second pair, 3 is the next number left alone. Now you start from 3. So 3, 4, which is the suitable square table? 1 is 1. 2 2s are 4, will not go because it is greater. So you want to select 1 is 1. So write 1 here, 1 is 1. Okay, draw the line, do the subtraction. 3 minus 1, 2. Now bring the next pair down. Next pair is 6, 8. So 268 is your new dividend. Now what you want to do? On the side you want to write the double of the quotient. Double of the quotient is 2. Yes. Now you want to try for different numbers near 2 so that which is suitable for this 268. So if I am writing 2 near, okay, 2 near if I am writing 5, yes, you can try for different numbers. So I want to multiply by 5. So 5 5s are 25. 5 2s are 10 and 2 12. 125. Here 268. So we can try again. If I am putting 7, what happens? 7 7s are 49. 7 2s are 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. 189. So I can try for the next number also. 28 into 8. 8 8s are 64. 8 2s are 16 plus 6 22. 224. So one more we can try. If I am writing 29 into 9. Okay, what number you are writing near 2, that only you want to multiply. Okay, so 9 9s are 81. 9 2s are 18 plus 8 26. So this is more suitable, 261, because here 268. So how many times? 9 times. So that 9 you want to write near 2 and in the quotient also. So how many we got? 261. Now again put a line, subtraction. 8 minus 1 7, 6 minus 6 0, 2 minus 2 0. Okay. Now one more pair we need to bring, that is 64. Write it here. Okay. So we got the new dividend. Again we want to continue the division. So make this lines are more extended down. Then what is the next step? We want the divisor. So to write the divisor, what you want to do? First you want to double the quotient. What is the quotient now? It is 19. What is the double of 19? Just you multiply by 2. Yes, 9 2s are 18. 38 is the double of 19. So that double you want to write on the side here. Now what you want to do? To continue the division, you want to try for different digits near this 38. Okay, near 38 you want to try so that you are getting this answer or not. So near 38 if I am putting 2, 38, if I am putting 2, then you want to multiply by 2. Okay, so 2 2s are 4, 8 2s are 16, 3 2s are 6 plus 1 7. So see, 2 times we got 764. So that 2 we can write near 38 and also in the quotient. So that we got 764 right here, and 764 subtracted from 764, the answer is 0. Okay, now your division is over. You need to write the final answer. Therefore, square root of 36,864 is equal to, write the quotient, 192. Okay, so I think all of you understood the long division method. Now we are going to study a special result, a special note, that is, all of you listen here. The number of bars that are placed in the perfect square number gives the number of digits in the square root of the number. So this is a trick. This is a easy way to find out if you are going to find the square root of any number. Okay, any number, maybe 3 digit, 4 digit, 5 digit or any number of digits. By long division method, we can find out how many number of digits are present in the square root of that number without doing long division method. How many number of digits? Okay, so what is the method to find that? The number of bars that are placed in the perfect square. When we start the division, we will put the bars no. So how many bars are needed, that number will decide how many digits are there in the square root. Okay, so that is the note given here. The number of bars that are placed in the perfect square number. So how many bars we are placing first, that will give the number of digits in the square root of the number. So this is just a technique for finding how many digits are there in the square root. So in your exercise there is asked some questions. Without doing division, can you say how many number of digits are in the square root? So you can use this technique to find out. See a question I have written, without calculating square roots. That means we are not doing the division process. Find the number of digits in the square root of the given numbers. So here some numbers are given without doing the division method. You want to find out how many digits are there in the square root of that number. Okay, square root means our answer. So how many digits will be there? Yes, so here is the solution. You take the first number 64. So what I want to do here, you want to place the bars as we are doing in long division method. You want to place the bars and count the number of bars to determine the number of digits in the square root. So if you take the first number 64, when you place the bars, how will you do? Yes, from the unit end you want to take the numbers in pairs, and you know from units digit here 4 is there and the first pair is 64 itself. Correct? So 64 is the first pair when we start from 4. So what does it mean? The meaning is, what is the meaning? This number's square root will have, because here it is only one bar, there will be only one digit in the square root. And you know what is the square root of 64? It is 8. Very good. 8 8s are 64. So 8 is having only one digit. So because we put here one bar, one digit is the square root of this number. So here it is asked find the number of digits in the square root. Okay. So you know that 64 root is 8. So only one digit is there. Correct? Yes. So how to write the answer? Here the question is find the number of digits. Therefore one digit in the square root of 64. Okay. So this is your answer. Now come to the second question. 529. 529, when you divide in bars, what you get? First pair is 2 and 9. Second is this 5. So how many bars we put here? 2 bars. So how many digit will be in the square root? 2 digits. Very good. So how to write the answer? 2 digits in the square root of 529. Okay, that is only our question. Find the number of digits in the square root of these numbers. Now come to your third question. So this is first, second. Now third question. 1 and 4 zeros, that is 10,000. Yes. Now you divide this. First 2 zeros, one pair. Then 2 zeros, second pair. Now 1 is the third number, third bar. Okay. So how to write this answer? How many bars? 1, 2, 3. So in the square root also, how many digits will be there? 3 digits. So 3 digits will be there in the square root of this 10,000. Clear all of you? Yes. Now we can try for one more problem. What is the next question? 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros. So 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros. Yes, you can try this problem also. First you want to make the pairs from the right side. So this is one pair, 2 zeros, second pair, then third pair, fourth pair, and remaining one is also there. So one more bar. So total how many bars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in our answer, how many digits will be there in the square root? Yes, very good. Count the number of bars. So 5 bars are there. So 5 digits will be there in the square root of 1 and 8 zeros. Okay. So that is one of your exercise questions. So you want to do accordingly. Put the bars and count the number of bars to write the number of digits in the square root. Clear? Now children, the next section of your lesson is square root of decimals. Now we just studied the square root of whole numbers only. Then we are going to the square root of decimals. So square root of decimals means you will be given a decimal number and you want to find the square root by long division process only, and the rules are all same for that. Only little changes are there that we can study now. So when you want to find the square root of a number, as usual you want to put this symbol of division like this and write that number inside. 17.64 is our number. Now what is the first thing is, in this is a decimal number and you know point is the decimal, and this decimal, the left side is called whole part or the integral part, and the right side is called the decimal part. Okay, in a decimal number you studied earlier also, there are two parts. One is the whole part, other is the decimal part. So here what you are doing, when you are considering decimal numbers, you want to take first the whole part separately. Okay, so whole part you want to do as we did in the previous problems. That is, start from the unit place, put the bar and make the pairs. And decimal part you are taking from the first number considering pairs. Okay, because here only 4 numbers are there, you want to take the first pair as from the integral part. The first pair is 17 itself. Okay, and in the decimal part you want to start from the first number. So here also only 2 numbers, so 64 is the pair. Okay, so that is only the difference what we are doing in the decimal number. Other things are all same. Yes, so we can start the answer. So first pair is 17. So try for the square numbers. So we have 4 4s are 16 and 5 5s are 25. So which is suitable? 4 4s are 16. So write 4 here, 4 4s are 16. Yes, put a line, do the subtraction. 17 minus 16 is 1. Now what do you want to do, children? After this, the decimal part is starting, so that put the decimal here. Okay, put the decimal here, then bring the next pair as it is, that is 64. So now you have 164 as your dividend. Now as usual write the double of the quotient. What is the double of the quotient? 4 double is 8. So that 8 you want to write on this side. Now try for different numbers near 8. And when you write into 8 into 4 or yes 2, if you can write 2, 8 near 2 and multiply by 2, 2 2s are 4, 8 2s are 16. Yes, you got 164. How many times? 2 times. So that 2 you can write here and in the quotient after the decimal. Okay, so 164 you got, balance is 0, so your division is over. So how to write the answer? Therefore, square root of 17.64 is equal to, what is your quotient? 4.2. Okay, so that is the answer. So in the decimal number, just you want to consider the integral part separately and decimal part separately. Integral part you want to put the bar starting from the units digit as we are doing in the previous problems, and the decimal part you are taking the pair from the very first number. Okay, and continue as we are doing before. Okay, yes, we can go to the next problem. Now see this question, next question. Our number is 12 point. Find the square root of 12.25. Yes, draw the line like this and write 12.25. Okay, so what is the integral part? 12. What is the decimal part? 25. We have only 4 numbers. So from the integral part, this 12 is the pair and decimal part 25 is the pair. Okay, yes. Now you want to take the numbers related to 12. So which number we can select? 3 3s are 9, 4 4s are 16. 4 4s are 16 is greater. So you can take 3 3s are 9. Okay, now put a line, do the subtraction. 12 minus 9 is, yes, so 12 minus 9, 3 after you want to put the decimal in the quotient, and 25 is the next pair you want to bring down. Now write the double of the quotient. Double of the quotient 3 double is 6 you want to write here. Okay, now near to this 6 you want to try different numbers. So because here it is 5, I can see it is all just your imagination, that save the time and do the calculation faster. Because here it is 5, I can try for 5. Okay, that will be easy. So 5 5s are 25, 6 5s are 32, 325. We got the answer. Okay, to save the time, you just see the digit in the units place and check which number is suitable. So here I tried for 5, I got the answer. Write in the quotient 325. So the balance is 0. Understand? Therefore, our square root of 12.25 is equal to 3.5. Okay. So in your lesson, in your exercise, you are just having this type of simple problems. Only 4 numbers will be present there. Maximum 4 numbers. Decimal part 2 numbers only are there. But using this method, we can find for very bigger numbers also. But since your exercise is having small numbers only, we are doing this much problems only. So all of you do the remaining problems in the exercise, you will understand more. Okay, so that is the answer. Now we are going to see some word problems related to this topic. Okay, yes, so this is your first question, word problem. Find the least number that must be subtracted from 5607 so as to get a perfect square. Also find the square root of the perfect square. What is the meaning of the question? This number 5607, it is not a perfect square actually. 5607 is a number which is not a perfect square. You see, find the least number that must be subtracted from this number. So this number from a number is subtracted. Least number means a minimum quantity is subtracted from this number, then so as to get a perfect square. So if we subtract that number from this number, it will become a perfect square. That is the meaning. So also find the square root of the perfect square. So what you want to do first? You want to find out a least number that is subtracted from this given number to make it into a perfect square. And after making it into a perfect square, you want to find the square root of that perfect square. Okay? Yes. So when this type of problems are asked, first you want to find the square root of this number. Even though it is not a perfect square, we are going to use long division method to find out the quotient first. Okay? Yes. So first we are applying long division method and write the number here 5607. Okay? Now as usual we are converting into pairs. So 07 one pair and 56 next pair. Now start the division. We have 56. So which number is the square 56 near number is? We can say 7 sevens are 49, 8 eights are 64, that is greater, so you can choose 7 sevens are 49. Now when you subtract, we get 9, 7, then okay, 7 is the remainder, and bring the next pair 0, 7. Okay, so after bringing the number, write the double of the quotient. What is the double of 7? 14 you want to write here. Understand? Yes. So because you know this is not a perfect square, we will not get the remainder 0. Okay. So just you want to find which number is suitable for this 707. So 14 near, try for different numbers. If I am writing 14 near 5, okay, 5, if I am putting 5, 5 5s are 25, 5 4s are 20, 22, 1 5 is 5 plus 2, 725 is greater. So take the previous number. I am putting 4 into 4. So 4 4s are 16, 4 4s are 16 plus 1 17, 1 4 is 4 plus 1 576. Okay, 5 times 725 is greater, but 4 times 576 is coming, that we can select. So 4 times that 4 you want to put here also and in the quotient also. Okay, what is the answer I got? 576. Now again put the line and do the subtraction. 7 minus 6, 1. Here it will be borrowed. Yes, 6. Here 10. 10 minus 7, 3. And 6 minus 5, 1. Got the remainder 131. Now again come to the question. The question is find the least number that must be subtracted from 5607. Okay. So when this type of that must be subtracted is asked, you want to subtract this remainder from the given number, that will make it a perfect square. Okay. So because 131 is the remainder here, this remainder should be subtracted from our given number, then it will become a perfect square. Okay. So that is the meaning of the question. So now you want to do 500. So there you can write here, therefore 131, that is our remainder, is the least number, that must be subtracted from 5607. Now you do the subtraction. 5607 minus 131, that is 7 minus 1 6, 10 minus 3 7, 5 minus 1 4 and 5. Okay, so when you subtracted this remainder from our given number, you got 5476, and this is a perfect square, which is a perfect square. Okay, so when you subtracted the remainder, you got the perfect square. Now your question is not over. We need to find the square root of the perfect square. So this answers perfect square you want to calculate. Okay, now this became a perfect square. Now we want to write the square root of this perfect square. So is it needed to find out the square root of this number again? No, because when you find the square root of this number using long division method, you will get the same quotient as we got here. Okay, but you will get the quotient 74 and the remainder will be 0 because we subtracted the remainder from this given number and made it a perfect square. So that when you find by long division method, your quotient will be the same as 74 and remainder you will get 0. So no need to do the long division again. You can confirm that this is the perfect square whose square root is 74 itself, because we subtracted the remainder and made it the perfect square. So no doubt we can write the answer directly. Hence, the square root of the new number 5476, after we have subtracted this 134, we got this square number, is equal to the square root is this square root itself, that is 74. So that is our answer. Okay. So whenever you do this, find the least number to be subtracted, you want to do the division and subtract the remainder from the given number, then it will be definitely a perfect square, and that perfect square's square root will be the quotient itself. You can write that. Okay. If you have any doubt, you just do the calculation, just to try for the long division method and do in your rough book. You will understand that this is the correct square root of this number. Okay. Yes. Now you see here in this question, it is different from the previous question. What is the question here? Find the least number that must be added. In the previous problem we did that must be subtracted. Here it is added. So a little change is there in our answer, that I will say. So find the least number that must be added to, what is the number? 1300, so as to get a perfect square. Okay. So when we add that number to this number, it will become a perfect square. Find its square root. So the difference between the previous problem and this problem is, there we subtracted, here we want to add a least number. Okay, add a least number so that it become a perfect square. So in the previous problem we subtracted the remainder from the given number, but in this problem not like that, it is different. So don't think that there we subtracted, here we want to add. No, not like that. In that problem we subtracted the remainder, but when it is the question of adding the least number, the thing is different. So how you are doing the answer, all of you listen. The first thing is we are doing the long division process for this number. What is the number given? 1300. Now make it into pairs. 0, 0 is one pair and 13 is the next pair. Now try for the square table. 13 will go for which number? 4 4s are 16, will not go. So you select the previous one. 3 3s are 9. Okay. Yes. Now do the subtraction. 13 minus 9 is 4. Then bring the next pair. 0 0. After that double the quotient, that is 6. Okay. Now what do you want to do? Near to 6 you want to try for different numbers and suitable you want to find out. So if I am doing for 6 multiplied by 6, 6 6 are 36, 36 plus 6 6 are 36, 3 and 9. Okay, 396, I think this is the suitable one. So 6 times, write the 6 here and in quotient 396. So here also we are not getting 0. What is the balance? 4 0 0. Okay, so 4 is the remainder here. Okay, so this much up to the normal procedure what we are doing. Do the division and we got the remainder here 4. Now because find the least number that must be added to 1300. So this 1300 is not a perfect square. There is a perfect square greater than 1300. Okay, so that is only added. If we add some number to 1300, that will become greater than 1300. So we want to find that square number. Okay, that is what least number is added to this to get the next square number. That only we want to find in this question. So what you want to do when it is asked added, you see this quotient, this 36 is the square root of the previous number. Why? Because in the previous question when we subtracted, we got that quotient itself as the square root of that number. Okay, when you subtract the number, we will get the number before. Okay, it will become less. So we will get the square number before. So that in the previous problem we wrote the quotient itself is the square root. But here we want to add something. Add something means we want to find the square root of the next square number. Okay, so next means don't take this quotient. You want to take the next number of this quotient. What is the next number of this quotient? Yes, 36. Next number is 37. So here in this addition problem, this is the way to write the steps. All of you listen. We got, okay, so this is the step actually. We got the quotient as 36. Okay, take the next number. Take the next number, that is, what is the next number of 36? 37. Okay, so this I am writing only for your understanding. No need of writing when you are doing the problem. This you just understand. What is the least number that must be added if it is asked? You want to take the next number of the quotient what you got. So here the next number is 37. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to find the next number square. 37 square you want to find out. So now you need to find out the square of this 37. Okay, so therefore 37 square. 37 square means 37 into 37. You want to find out. Yes, let us find what is 37 into 37. Okay, 7 sevens are 49, 4, 7 threes are 21 plus 4, 25, 7 threes are again 21, 3 threes are 9 plus 2, 11, 9, 6, 3 and 1, 1369. Okay, so 1300 is not a perfect square, and the next perfect square is this number, because we take the next number of the quotient and we found the square. So it is 1369. This is a perfect square. Okay, now what is your question? You want to find the square root of that perfect square. Okay, square root of the next is what? 37 square is 1369 means what is the square root of 1369? Yes, it is 37. Okay, so we got the square root of that number after this 1300. We found out. We found the next number of the quotient. So that is the root of that perfect square. Now it is asked find the least number that must be added. So what is that least number? Least number that must be added is from this perfect square that we found out, you want to subtract the given number. Okay, so what is the perfect square we got? 1369. From that you want to subtract the quotient 1300. Our answer is 69. So this 69 is the number added to our quotient 1300 so that it becomes a perfect square 1369. So that is the meaning. So our final answer is therefore this difference. Okay, 69 is the least number that must be added to 1300. Okay, yes, that is enough. That is your answer. So here we discussed two types of problems. First one was which number to be subtracted. It is somewhat simple comparing to this problem. You just subtract the remainder from the given number, and the quotient itself will come as the square root of that answer. Okay, but when it is asked which number to be added, one more additional thing you want to do, you want to find the next number of the quotient. Here we have nothing to do with the remainder. Okay, for addition, don't take the remainder, it is not needed. You want to take the quotient and find the next number of the quotient, find the square. That is the required perfect square number. After that, you want to subtract that from that number our given quotient, and that is our required number that is added to the given number. So hope all of you understood these two types of problems very well. You do the homework also, you will understand more. Okay, so don't confuse, you just go through 2 or 3 times, you will understand clearly. Okay, yes. Now our next type of problem, find the greatest 4-digit number which is a perfect square. Okay, find the greatest 4-digit number. Greatest 4-digit number, what is the number you know? When you write the greatest number, you use the digit 9. So here the greatest digit is 99999. So this is only the greatest 4-digit number. But we want to find out the greatest 4-digit number which is a perfect square. Can you say this 9999 is a perfect square? We don't know. So what is the method to confirm whether this is a square number? Yes, we want to do long division method, and if you are getting remainder 0, then this is a perfect square number. If you are not getting remainder 0, then it is not. Okay, so let us check whether this greatest 4-digit number is a perfect square or not. Okay, so we can start the division. Draw the line like this. Make pairs. So 99 is one pair, this 99 is another pair. Right? Yes. Now we can start the division. So 99, for which square it is suitable? We have 9 9s are 81, 9 9s are 81, 10 10s are 100. So 100 is greater than 99. So you can select 9 9s are 81. Okay, yes. Now do the subtraction. 9 minus 1, 8. 9 minus 8, 1. Okay. Then bring the next pair, that is 99 down. Now what you want to do? Take the double of the quotient. What is the double of the quotient? 9 double is 18. Right? Yes. Now near to this 18, we want to try for different digits to get the number closer to this. Okay, so if I am putting 18 near 9, if I am putting and multiply by 9, 9 9s are 81, 9 8s are 72 plus 8, 80, 1 9 is 9 plus 8, 17. Okay, so this is the number because next number for it will be greater. So you take this number 9 times, write in the quotient also. So 1701. Okay, subtract 9 minus 1, 8, 9, 1. So here we didn't get the remainder 0. So what is the meaning? When we didn't get the remainder, then our question is not a perfect square. Okay, so you can write therefore 9999 is not a perfect square because we didn't get the remainder 0. Okay, but our answer is not over. What is our answer? Find the greatest 4-digit number which is a perfect square. So we need to find out that 4-digit number, greatest number that is a perfect square. So what do you want to do here? What is the meaning of this question? Because we got this remainder 198 as we did in the subtraction problem. If we subtract this 198 remainder from this greatest number, we will definitely get the answer perfect square only. Okay, as we did in the subtraction problem. So this 9999 minus this remainder, you will get 9 minus 8 1, 9 minus 9 0, 9 minus 1 8 and 9. So after subtracting this remainder, this new number is the greatest number, that is a perfect square. Okay, so therefore 9999 minus 198, that is our remainder. We got 9801 is a perfect square because we subtracted the remainder. As we did in the subtraction problem, which number is to be subtracted so that it becomes a perfect square. So this remainder should be subtracted so that it becomes a perfect square. Now can you tell what is the square root of this perfect square? Yes, very good. The quotient itself. This quotient itself is the perfect square. Therefore, no need of doing the division anymore. You can write therefore 9801. The square root of this number is this 99 itself. That is our answer. Now this is another type of problem from your exercise. See all of you, in a right triangle ABC. Okay, a right angle triangle, you know how to draw a right angle triangle? Yes, right angle triangle, for it will come L shape, no? So you can draw a right angle triangle. One angle will be 90 degree. So just you construct a right angle triangle here. And what is given? The name of the triangle is ABC. ABC, where which angle is 90 degree, children? Angle B. So this angle where 90 degree come is our angle B. So write there B, and other two ends are A and C. So this is ABC, our right angle triangle where angle B is 90 degree. Now what is given? AC equal to 13 centimeter. So what is AC? 90 degree, opposite side is the hypotenuse. You have learned in 7th standard Pythagoras property, Pythagoras theorem in a right angle triangle. What is meant by hypotenuse? All that we studied earlier. So hypotenuse means the side opposite to 90 degree. So here AC is the hypotenuse. What is the spelling? HYPOTENUSE. So hypotenuse AC value is given here 13 centimeters. Okay. Yes. Now what is given? BC. BC is the base of the triangle, that is 5 centimeter is the measurement. You want to find out AB. What is the third side? So do you remember? Did you remember how you are finding the third side of a right angle triangle using hypotenuse and Pythagoras property? What is the Pythagoras property, children? The square of the hypotenuse. Square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. Do you remember? Yes. So here what is the square of the hypotenuse? Pythagoras property. Yes. Pythagoras property or Pythagoras theorem. We have hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square, or you can say hypotenuse square is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides. So here who is the hypotenuse? AC. So AC square equal to what are the other two sides? AB square and BC square. Okay, so this is the property, Pythagoras property, that we are applying this problem. Okay, so Pythagoras property clear? Yes. Now using this we are going to find the third side. So start the solution. We have by Pythagoras theorem. Yes, you can write the sides directly. Hypotenuse, that is AC square, is equal to base square or altitude square. Okay, so AB square plus BC square. Now you put the values. This implies AC. What is given AC? 13 square equal to AB we don't know, so write it as AB itself. Okay. Now BC you know it is 5 square. Now find the square of the numbers. What is the square of 13? 13 into 13, 169 equal to AB square plus 5 square is 25. Now as you do in the equation, you want to transpose, take AB square only, and what 25 you are taking to this side. So 169 minus 25, that is 144. So therefore you got AB square is 144, but we want AB. What is AB? You want to find the square root of 144. Okay, and you are very aware of what is the square root of 144? Yes, 144 means it is the square of 12. 12 into 12. So you can write, when you take one number from the root, it is 12 centimeters. Understand? Thus, you got the third side AB is equal to 12 centimeters. Okay? So, in this way, you want to find the third side from a right angle triangle. Now, see this one more question, children. A gardener has 1000 plants. He wants to plant these in such a way that the number of rows and the number of columns remain same. Find the minimum number of plants he needs more for this. Okay. So here a gardener is having 1000 plants. Okay. And how he is going to plant the plants is, he want to arrange the plants as number of rows and number of columns remain same. For example, if I am giving you some plants like this, if I am planting in the row, okay, in the row if I am planting 1, 2, 3, 4 plants, and in the column wise also I am giving, here first one is already there, 2, 3, 4. So here you see row also 4 plants, column also 4 plants. So can you tell how many plants will be there in this arrangement? If I am completing this row, 2, 3, 4. Okay, each row 4, column also 4. If I am completing this arrangement, can you tell what is the total number of plants in this arrangement? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that is how you can determine the total number of plants. You want to multiply row and column. That is 4 plants in the row, 4 plants in the column. Okay. So that is a square formation. Square formation. 4 into 4. That is 16 plants. Understand? So if I am trying for one more for your understanding. If I am trying for another one arrangement, I am giving 5 plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in a row, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in a column. So can you tell how many plants will be there in this arrangement? Yes, very good. No need to complete this. You can just multiply the row and column. So 5 plants into 5. What is the number? 25. Okay. So in this arrangement 16 plants, and this arrangement 25 plants. So what can you understand from these examples? When you want to arrange the plants as rows and columns to be equal like this, definitely that number want to be a square number. Correct? 16 is a perfect square number, so that only we can arrange as 4 into 4. 25 is a square number, so that only we can arrange as 5 into 5. Okay. So that way we want to arrange this 1000 plants as row and column equal. Yes. So we can do this arrangement only if this 1000 is a perfect square number. Clear? Yes. So first you want to check whether our given number 1000 is a perfect square number. Then only we can make this type of arrangement as row and column are equal. Yes. So this I draw just for your understanding. So first thing is we want to check the given number is a perfect square or not. So we are doing by long division process. So start the solution. Yes, draw the division. Okay, write 1000 here. Now divide in pairs. 0, 0 is one pair. Here it is another pair. So 10 is our first pair. How many times? Yes, 3 3s are 9. Subtract. 1 is the balance. Bring the next two numbers down 100. Now, what is the double of 3? 6. You want to write it on the side. Now, 6 near how many times for this 100? So, if I am writing 62 into 2, 124. It is greater than 100. So, you take 61 into 1. That is 61 itself. So, 1 time, write in the quotient also 61. Subtract 100 minus 61, you will get 39. Okay, so we didn't get 0. What is the meaning of that? Our given number 1000 is not a perfect square. Okay, so if it is not a perfect square, we cannot arrange the plants in row equal to column. Okay, so our one part of the answer is over. So now what is the question actually? So if it is not a perfect square, we didn't get this is a perfect square. Find the minimum number of plants he needs more. Okay, we need more some plants. So what you can relate with this more number of plants? Yes, as we did in the previous problem, what is the number to be added? That concept you want to take here. Okay, so here because we need this word more plants means we need to add. Okay, we need to add the number, and in adding the number what we did, children, you remember? Yes, take the quotient of the take the next number of the quotient. So what is the quotient here? 31. What is the next number of the quotient? 32. Correct? So that 32 square you want to find out and subtract our given number. So you will get how many number of plants you need more. Okay, so I am doing that step directly. So no need of any steps, additional steps here. No need of writing. You just want to write the answer. Okay, so how to write? Therefore, take the next number of 31, that is 32 square. Okay, 32 square is 32 into 32. All of you calculate, you will get 1024. Understand? So 1024 is the next square number. Now we want how many plants more, so that this 1024 from, you want to subtract our given number. So 1024 minus 1000. What is the answer? 24. So what is the meaning of this? This much plants, 24 plants we need more, so that we can arrange in row equal to column. Okay, so here what we did, take the next number of the quotient, we got the square number. So therefore this is a perfect square. Okay, 1024 perfect square whose root is 32. Understand? Yes. So we want how many plants we need more, so that our final answer is 24 we need more. Therefore 24 plants are needed more for this arrangement. Okay, and if you are asked how many is less, or how many we want to subtract from this to make this arrangement, means you just want to subtract the remainder. Okay, because it is asked here how many more plants are needed, we take the next number of the quotient and find the square of that, and then did the subtraction to find how many required more. So that are some different concepts you want to go through carefully and understand, and do the questions correctly, do more examples, practice the exercise problems, you will understand clearly. Okay, yes, so that is the different types of problems we discussed today. All of you do all the notes correctly, all the homework correctly, and practice well, and revise the lesson also. So by this lesson is over. So all of you complete the notes and homework and make it up to date before your next class. Okay children? Complete the homework from exercise 6.4. From first 5 problems you can do any 2 from each and complete the 6, 7, 9 questions. Okay students? All the best children. Thank you.